Football hooliganism is far from being wiped out.
These were the scenes at Millwall last year.
There appears to be a bottomless pit of hooligans attracted to Millwall FC.
Once they come into the space and then you see Millwall, you understand it's not like the press put out there.
Even when we say Millwall now, everybody goes, Millwall. Out of every club it could be, it's Millwall.
I think it is a really powerful message that what is stereotypically a conservative club is actually one of the biggest champions of LGBT football.
Millwall have done so much to get rid of their reputation, but they know they can't afford to get this one wrong, off and on the pitch.
We're an LGBT football team and we're about inclusion and getting people back to football. Our strapline when we first started as the London Romans was football for all, and that's what we're about. The Millwall Romans tells.
So today we're at St George's Park for the quarter-final of the GFSN Cup, playing against Mersey, so a team that we lost to in last year's Cup, so big game for us. We've got a really strong team out. Everyone's been really committed, sort of woken up really early to get here, and it always helps when you've got the pull of SGP to motivate people. Hopefully, I think everyone's excited. A lot of people's first opportunity playing at SGP, so that's always an amazing occasion for them as well.
Beautiful. I was playing for a conventional straight team, as you'd call it, and I felt that I was missing something. It's very difficult when you grow up as an LGBT person to make friends and have that friendship group, and football's a great way of doing that.
Thanks for everyone for making it. Obviously Sunday morning, bit further than our usual travel. So I think you all agree, amazing location and an amazing opportunity for us to play at the home of English football. So thanks for making it and the commitment of waking up earlier and getting there on time. So really appreciate that.
We're a working class football club. A lot of our fans will come from the local area, but it's very important is that we need to reflect our community. Now, what we're talking about is it has a reputation, but that was in the 70s and 80s. Fan base has changed, communities have changed, we've got to change with it.
In about 2019, December 2019, when Sean Daly from the Millwall Community Trust contacted us, said he wanted to join a partnership with an LGBT football team to provide a safe space for footballers. Being honest, we were a little bit apprehensive at the time, especially with Millwall's reputation, a bit of a rough team, hooliganism. Even when we say Millwall now, everybody goes, Millwall. Out of every club it could be, it's Millwall.
I think once they come into the space and then you see Millwall and you spend time with Millwall and being a Millwall family, you understand it's not like the press put out there.
Right, we're going to be starting 4-3-3, but for the first 15-20 minutes of this game, I want it to be more of a 4-5-1, because obviously we went 2 goals behind early in the last game. It's just for the first 15 minutes, all right? It's a big pitch. Anyway, we're starting with Joe in goal.
Oof, God, this was big.
Joe. Oh, Joe and Joe, I like it. Go on.
What we've got behind us is one of our quarter-final games between two of the clubs. Mersey Marauders, the holders of the cup, against Millwall Romans. We've got 3 other quarter-finals going on today. These teams that are in the GFSN, it's much more than football. It's about the LGBT plus community coming together and sometimes getting an opportunity in football where they may not have seen a pathway for them before. So we've got a lot of allies at play. So it's showing that whether you're gay, straight, non-binary, transgender, you can play together, and it's just showing how inclusive football can actually be.
From the age of like 10, there was a field outside my house, so I'd go and like play just to be out of the house. It was very nice. And then growing up, obviously, there's a change in the understanding of football and changing understanding of the changing rooms. I didn't really fully understand until I was older, but I played through uni and kind of bit my tongue on things. So then finding a club that is diverse in all sorts of ways and leagues that are diverse in all sorts of ways removes a lot of that need to present yourself a certain way, and you could just feel like you belong. It's given me a place to be in, a place to come and not worry about certain things, but I still see things online, hear things in person that I've heard before, and I know things are changing. I'd love to see them change a bit louder.
Well, we've seen a lot of campaigns and initiatives over the years to make people feel more welcome, particularly in men's football. Women's football as well, I think, has really embraced some of the kind of pride-style campaigns, whether that was Rainbow Laces or more kind of club-led campaigns that celebrated the LGBTQ plus community. There's a long-running campaign as well called Football v Homophobia that I am part of, and that has a very clear anti-discrimination message, and we try to educate people around, okay, what does homophobic language, behaviour and attitudes look like, and how can we challenge that and encourage people to report it if it happens, so that we can create better spaces in football, either in the men's game or in the women's game, in which people feel comfortable.
When I was hitting 20, I wasn't out of the closet at all, and you're turning up to play in a straight team, but you're not being yourself, you're just playing a character of yourself because I wasn't comfortable saying who I was. That's why we exist, to provide that space where players can come along. We tell you this is who we are and this is what we do, and if you want to come and join us, absolutely fine, no problems at all. And they could be from the straight community, trans community, or the gay community.
I've played football since I was like 4 or 5 years old. It's been my first sport, my first love. I basically came out as gay when I was 18, joined uni and, joined the LGBT society and was like, these really, really great people, but, just not similar interests, and I didn't really have like a gay group of mates. And then that's when Jay, my ex, came and was like, play for an LGBT football team. It's the first I'd heard about it and came along, and the rest is history, and we're here 10 years later. Being here, you can just be yourself. You're able to travel around the country, play other LGBT teams, and I think the really nice thing is that the social part is a really big element. That kind of stereotype of Millwall isn't there with them, and I think it is a really powerful message that what is stereotypically a conservative club is actually one of the biggest champions of LGBT football.
My name's Daniel Jenkins and I'm a Millwall fan. It's been 20 odd years since I first came to a match. I think I was about 8 or 9 years old. You do remember walking in, into the ground and that sort of feeling of excitement, which I don't think really ever goes away. You still get that at match days now. It's a family affair. Come along with my dad and uncles and my brothers now as well. For most match days, particularly on, Saturday games, normally we'll meet up in Horseshoe Pub at London Bridge. We're quite a big sort of crowd of people and they're going to the game as well. We'll meet up there, have a couple of drinks and then get a train down to South Bermondsey for a kick-off. We've been sitting in the same area with our season tickets for quite a few years now, so you do get to know the people also sitting around you, and everyone is in it together, getting behind the team and just getting excited as the game sort of get going. Den is loud, it's exciting, and it's a great place to come and watch a football match. I mean, I would say it as a fan, but I do feel like there's something quite special about Millwall. Even like this bit of London still feels sort of changing a bit, but it's it's not been massively overdeveloped and things like that. So it still feels like a little bit of London that hasn't really changed a huge amount. Having a stadium that is this close to sort of central London and everything, it just feels something a little bit different about it. Being so close to the pitch, especially in these lower tiers, you really feel like you're sort of almost part of the game, and that really adds with the atmosphere. The reputation the Millwall was justified probably 40, 50 years ago, back when hooliganism was more of a much bigger issue in football. I think the reputation of it being a loud, sort of intimidating place is fair, but I think that's a good thing. There's a lot of anticipation around home games now, like I say, with Millwall being, feel like, a lot more established and sort of playing a lot better at the moment than they have in previous years. There's been a couple of times, and unfortunately I've been relegated down to League One, but generally we can bounce back up again. And I've been very fortunate, I think, in my time of supporting Millwall. There's been quite a lot of big games. When we reached the FA Cup final in 2004, it's not something that a team in Championship League One normally gets to do. You don't expect to win that game, and I think in that Man United team they had like Cristiano Ronaldo and Van Nistelrooy, and the odds weren't in their favour. But the whole time for that game, Mill fans were the loudest continually because it was such a big event. The first team I played for was actually another team that's in the London Unity League, another LGBT football team with Millwall Romans. I'd always known of them because they'd been in the same league as us. The first time I went along to a training session, it felt very welcoming again. It's always been a really good sort of environment to come along to play football. It's always a lot of fun, very sort of positive atmosphere, I think, as well. Coming out was something I'd sort of had been on my mind for a while, and I think having that interview with Mill and sort of being like, well, now, if I'm going to be sort of more public about it is something I need to obviously talk about with family and friends as well. I think it definitely has helped, and having Millwall Romans where you can be out, having that safe space has always been very important. I'd say it sort of gave me a bit more of the boost I maybe needed to actually sort of open up about it more in my private life as well. I think having, Millwall Romans and having almost the club as sort of part of that journey that I've been on myself definitely means that you do feel a closer sort of bond with it. It's always been a big part of my life, Millwall Football Club, and it is more so now. If I could say to my younger self, look, just go and join a football team, you might not think it's for you, but you will have, an amazing time that you might not feel like you're good enough, but you can do it, and you can go and enjoy your football and play football. If I could go back and say that to myself when I was a kid, I would. Millwall's always been a big part of my life, and in being part of Millwall Romans, it's just a bigger part of it now as well.
Jesus. When we first launched the club, there was a little bit of a backlash on Twitter, and even now when we put things out, there are a few people on social media that go, what are you doing in our club, or what's this all about, or get rid of this woke nonsense. If you're hearing these comments and seeing these comments, it's going to put youngsters back ages.
We do have some data that's available to us that helps to inform us about the situation with homophobia in this country. At the professional level, men's Premier League, we've seen a rise in the number of matches with incidents reported of homophobia and anti-LGBTQ discrimination. When we get down to men's grassroots, we're also seeing a rise as well, and that's a rise in the number of proven charges of this type of discrimination. That's up nearly 12% on the previous season in terms of the latest data we have. And I think that tells us that there is still a lot of homophobic language and behaviour that is prevalent in men's football.
It would be very difficult, I think, even now for a Premier League star to come out. I think the world of football is not ready for that, and I think the abuse that the player would still get would be too much to take, I think. So it would be nice. Don't know if it would happen anytime soon.
That's 5, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do you 5, yeah, okay, cool.
Every football club has got to reflect its community, Community has totally changed in the last 10, 15, 20 years. So there is a space for everybody to be involved. Once you've got that safe space, those people can grow, the team can grow, and it's become more than a football club now.
The Premier League has a responsibility to say, you know, we have a zero tolerance attitude to all forms of discrimination. And so I think that's where the Premier League can really help to set the example, to say, we don't want this in our game, this is a game for everybody. And to be able to kind of share that message more widely internationally, because that's the reach that the Premier League has.
Hopefully, you know, there should be someone coming out in the near future, and that will be a big amount of courage if they do. I think there's a lot of responsibility and a lot at stake for them, I understand that, but I think it'll be such a powerful message. You know, as you said, there's that kind of glass ceiling which needs to be shattered, and I think once one person does it, hopefully then there could be a lot more that follow, and we need to do a bit more of a positive message around it, and it can only then get better.